Okay, I wanted to continue the video on the power class. I filmed the last one on an iPhone, and that was horrible quality. I thought it was going to be a lot better, just flat out wasn't. But so I want to try and show this manual, or not this manual. This is a the sales brochure from '97. Um, Hopefully you can see things a little better this time. Apologize about that, but so. I guess if you want to read it, I'll go ahead and scroll down quick. You can do that later, but um, kind of lets you know all the features of the amp. These amps did have some very interesting features. Not, you know, there was only a couple things that were unique, and I'll talk about those real quick. But this is just kind of talking about the features and a bunch of, it's a lot of marketing wank, but they are very nice amplifiers. And here you can show them. They did it. This is like a gut shot of a 2350 with graphics showing what their expectations of the thermal management system was. It's fan cooled, brings cold air in the bottom, blows it out the top, and the fins are actually on the inside of the heatsink, and then ejects it through the top of the amplifier. And then go ahead and show this. These are all different processors. Then shows a spacer. That DAC's a really interesting item. It's a digital analog converter, but it's for the time was an extremely well-made one. And there's a picture of the phase shift controller that I have. Yeah, and then real quick, I'll show you the PPI flat piston subwoofers. So I can hold the camera still enough so this is readable. And then kind of the marketing wank behind it. I'll have to get a tripod or something so I could film stuff more accurately and won't be all shaky. And then these are just specifications, all the products. Then talking about the 3-year limited warranty. Good luck getting a 3-year warranty on anything today. I mean, maybe they're out there, I don't know them in the higher end stuff, but you're sure not going to get it from a Chinese made amp. So it looks like in the power class they're claiming a signal to noise ratio 115 on the 4100, but on most of the other ones it's either 110. Let's see what like a higher end 2350 is also 115. So the larger amps were 115. Signal processors. And then I was going to talk about this 1400. These aren't all too common. They're the only monoblock of the entire line, and they this is the only one I've ever seen with a plexi bottom. So it's not like they're super valuable. I didn't pay a whole heck of a lot for it, but it is one of my favorite amplifiers, and the board layout is I think, like I've said before, outside of the MS series from Phoenix Gold, I think this is to me, this is the most attractive looking amplifier on the board. Try and see if I can get the whole thing in frame. Just a really nice amplifier, like extremely well built. You can see the extremely beefy solid copper bus bars. There's a couple there. This goes like about half the length of the amp. I couldn't tell you what they go to or where they go, but And there's two little ones here, two little ones there, and then this one goes around here. But yeah, just a really well made amplifier, and the way they did it looks awesome. Yeah, that another thing about the 1400 is it's the only one to have a you can bandpass it, so you can dial in the low pass starting at I'm not sure where it starts at, but you can dial it down, and then you also have a subsonic filter that you can dial up well into, like, I think it goes up to 50 hertz, but so it's I don't know, it does sound different than the other ones in the series, and it's really tight. I would say the 2350 kind of has, like, they do have two different sounds. This is the tightest sounding. The 2350 is just a beast, and it sounds like it. I can't really put. It's hard to describe. It just kind of growls. I mean, it's something else. I mean, of course, talking about a 1400 watt amp, which is very pedestrian by today's standards, but at the time that was massive AB amp. These amps do get hot, so if you have one and it's hot, that's common. I've hooked up the 2150, 1400, 4100, 2350, 250, 2100, 275. They all get hot if you take them to their lowest ohm rating. The 2350, I'm running it stereo 3 ohm, and it can go down to 2 ohm, so I'm not really pushing it to its complete limits on the JLs. But so it stays fairly cool. But if you were to hook them up into a 4 ohm bridge load, they all get hot. I never had one turn off because it got too hot. So I don't know. They're apparently they're okay with doing that, but I know they do have a protection circuit for it. Anyway, just kind of wanted to wrap up, like, talk about precision power. Highly regulated, like every other precision power amp. Anybody claiming that the precision power amp that they're selling is way underrated, not true. Never was true. Maybe today and whatever they're doing with the company today has nothing to do with precision power of yesteryear. Absolutely zero. So I haven't bought any of it. I haven't bought anything since this will be the last of the series I've ever owned. No, that's not true. I did buy a PCX, and I was really disappointed in it. I bought the one. They were all larger, so like the 4100 ended up being a 4125, and it was Korean made. Just did not have the same sound quality. I think they had and also these amps. So they had a 15th anniversary, which is all chrome. The end caps are chrome, which is how you can tell it's a 15th anniversary, not a. The second generation of the PC were chrome, but they had black end plates. So you can tell right off. Plus they had a different alphanumeric code, where this one has PC for power class, 2 for channels, or the next numbers. The first number in it is the number of channels, and then everything following is its output at 4 ohm. So 2350 be 2 times 350 at 4 ohm. Then when they came out with the second generation, I believe in '99, the Chrome, the PC 2350 was known as the PC 2 1400, and the 4100 was the 4800, and the 2150 was the 2600. Some people really prefer those. For me, it was, I don't know. This is the kind I prefer, but as far as functionality and sound, they're identical in their quality. Precision Power was already kind of having troubles by then, but it seems like their amps were still well made, and it was the same design. I think same components. It was then after that, after the Chrome, they had a light gray one, which just they did not look nearly as nice as this or the Chrome ones, and some of them are made in Korea. I have seen them where they say made in the U.S. on them, but normally they'll say like absolute state-of-the-art mobile audio instead of um, designed and handcrafted in the USA. So that's how you tell a Korean one. I'm trying to think anything else about these. Like I said, they're highly regulated, so you don't get huge dynamic numbers. In fact, these amps really don't even make their exact power, but it's small percentages, 2, 3, maybe 5% at most. It'll miss its mark, which was all the precision power. I'm guessing that's why Big D Wiz does not do a lot of precision power amp dynos. It's because it would not be very exciting because the amp's going to give you exactly what it says on it. There's never going to be a surprise. Um, maybe the Promos might deviate from their ratings, but probably only in the higher ohm loads, which most cheater amps way outperform in the 4 ohm stereo range from what they're rated. Trying to think anything else about these. The 2350 was using the Gates vehicle for when they got the world record, and then it said something on the page with the in the sales brochure about that, and it was really just a marketing thing because it wasn't like the subs they were using or the amps they were using were. I mean, the 2350 is an amazing amplifier, but it's nothing out of the ordinary. It was just they packed 32 of them with 64 subs into a Ford Bronco with I couldn't even tell you how many alternators that thing had on it. But these actually are though very efficient for an AB. By today's standards, probably not so much, but in comparison to a lot of things at the time, like the Kicker ZR, which is from what I know, probably the least efficient amp series out there. But I still like them. I think they're wonderful amps. But and then the Rockford A2 series were not the most efficient. I think they were a little better than the ZR, but yeah, I mean comparing this to those two series is kind of apples to oranges. And the Orions at the time too, they were unregulated. So like I don't know. I'll have to look up and see who else was running regulated amplifiers at the time. But Precision Powers always ran regulated amplifiers. That's why them and Orion split. It was two different design philosophies, so they started their own company, Precision Power, outside of Orion. And from my understanding, that's what happened. So that's what I know about these amplifiers. You know anything else? I've heard that the guy who created the Art Series, which was their flagship before these, and then they had the Sedona that was lower series, which those are still amazing amplifiers. But the guy who designed the Art Series, or the engineers that did, they left, started Extant, and then there was another gentleman or group of engineers that designed these, and then went on to design the JL/ series. People say there's technologies shared in the two. I couldn't imagine because it's completely different topology. If you put two side by side, there is zero in common. That's a Class D. This is a Class AB. They're both really good. They're both legendary amps. But I've always run AB. Never run a Class D. Heard plenty of them. I think they're successful to varying degrees. But this is the sound I prefer, and I've stuck with it. And I don't run any crazy setups where I need anything more efficient. Right now I'm on the 2350 and the 4100, which is a total of 2200 watts. That's more than enough for me. I just don't have any need or want to run anything bigger. But yep. So this is a Precision Power class, and my top three favorite amp series.